I'm Loving It and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Coming up on Primetime, lawmakers react to the report on American Rescue Plan expenditures. Plus, OSHA unveils COVID-19 vaccination and testing emergency temporary standards as a result of the president's action plan. And in news from Saipan, with schools set to reopen next week, vaccination for kids 5 to 11 years old starts tomorrow. Tomas Manglonia has the latest.
Hafa and good evening, everyone. I'm Tyler Matsunani. Thank you so much for joining us. The mistake has been corrected. Senators passed a new bill which amends the Local War Claims Program law. It removes an out-of-order amendment by Speaker Therese Terlahi that would have greatly increased the number of claimants and the cost of the program. The amendment was mistakenly included in the bill that was sent to and signed by the governor. Earlier this week, session was stalled as Republicans first wanted a full public explanation of how the cost amendment was included. They were finally able to vote today.
Bill 217-36 received 10 ayes and 2 nays, with 3 excused. Bill number 217-36 is duly passed by the body.
The two senators voting no on the bill were Amanda Shelton and James Moylan. They are sponsoring another war claims bill that will open the program to everyone who suffered during the war and their descendants with no filing deadline. This is similar to the Terlahi amendment that was removed by the bill passed today. We have reaction today to the Budget Bureau's report on American Rescue Plan expenditures as of the end of October. A pair of senators we spoke to today said it falls well short of the spending plan the legislature has been clamoring for months. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The current budget law requires a monthly report on American Rescue Plan spending, and the Budget Bureau sent over a one-page list of expenditures in 8 different categories, totaling a little over $105 million. Senator Joanne Brown.
This does not represent a plan, and a plan that we've been asking for quite some time, to outline specifically how does the governor and the administration really intend to prioritize the spending of these funds. This does not provide that, unfortunately, and I think those are the kind of questions we need to continue to ask.
Speaker Therese Terlahi said she's glad they at least got something from the administration on ARP spending, but what they also need is a lot more detail.
What we really want to know is, going forward, what are the priorities going to be? So I think for the legislature, we've tried different ways, so now we've been successful finally in getting at least an after report of the expenditure. It's not a plan. I don't think you can really govern well without a plan.
It's not clear if the legislature will call an informational hearing to dig deeper into the expenditures. They were hoping the administration would just be more forthcoming with the information.
But I just think it's common sense, if you want to go through the question and answer for 5 days versus just tell the people where you're spending this stuff. Where are you spending the ARP money on? I can't see why that's such a hard thing to do.
But to not publicly, at this point, even come out at this late stage in the game, I really think is disingenuous. And it's really unfortunate that the governor's not forthcoming. We hear all this, we're transparent. Well, we're not obviously transparent with regards to how we're intending to spend this money that wasn't intended for the governor, but was intended for our people.
By the speaker's count, the governor has just over $90 million left to spend. Along with the $105 million just reported, Adelup also announced allocations of $25 million for a local employers assistance program, $20 million for a child care provider assistance program, and $300 million for a new hospital complex. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Speaker Terlahi is recovering well after testing positive for COVID earlier this week. She thanks all the many well-wishers and has a message for the community based on her own experience.
Go get tested because I want you to get treated as soon as possible. I don't want you to get sick and suffer. You know, even just a little bit of suffering that I did was too much, I think. And so please, and I want them to go avail of this monoclonal antibody. It's like, it's available to us on Guam. It's for you. Go and take advantage of that and get yourself well faster.
She says she's concerned about the recent deaths and keeping the hospitalization rate down. The speaker adds that the monoclonal antibody treatment seems to be working for her. The number of COVID-19 related fatalities continues to climb. Last night, Joint Information Center reported 3 more deaths. All 3 were unvaccinated men and 2 reportedly had underlying health conditions. A total of 248 people have died since March of last year. The Biden administration issued tougher new vaccine rules that are expected to affect 84 million workers. President Biden first revealed the idea to require vaccines at larger companies in September, and Thursday it became official. Skylar Henry reports.
The new Biden administration rules require millions of Americans working at companies with 100 or more employees to get fully vaccinated by January 4th or be tested at least once a week. Unvaccinated employees must also wear a face mask at work. Employers who fail to comply by January 4th could be fined nearly $14,000 per violation.
This gives them a level of certainty that I think is going to encourage more people to get vaccinated.
The White House's move is already receiving pushback from Republicans who say the Labor Department's OSHA agency doesn't have the authority to impose vaccine requirements. On Capitol Hill, Dr. Anthony Fauci told lawmakers he expects COVID to persist at some level.
I think eradication is out. We've only eradicated one virus in history for humans, and that's smallpox.
After last summer's surge, COVID-19 cases are rising or holding steady in at least 34 states.
The Delta variant reminded us we need to be humble in our response to this virus.
With this week's Pfizer vaccine rollout for 5 to 11-year-olds, cities like New York are urging parents to get their children vaccinated.
Kids are eligible for the $100 vaccine incentive.
Guys, how are you? Just need proof of vaccination, please.
In Los Angeles County, customers at indoor bars, lounges, and nightclubs now have to show proof of vaccination or stay outside. The city of Los Angeles is set to impose a more sweeping vaccine mandate for businesses next week. Skylar Henry reporting for KUAM News.
The CDC says the pace of booster and first shots is slowing, following the longest acceleration the U.S. has seen in months. On Guam, to date, a total of 123,958 of the island's eligible population is fully vaccinated. While children under 12 on Guam will have to wait until sometime next week before they can get vaccinated, in the CNMI, they're ready to roll out the shots tomorrow. As Tomas Manglotnia reports, it comes just in time as CNMI Governor Ralph Torres prepares to reopen schools next week.
I will be putting out another memo lifting the 10 days. So both private, public, and NMC, NMTI can resume back to school and regular classes starting Monday of next week.
The news comes as 2,700 doses of the Pfizer vaccine for children will arrive on Saipan on November 6. Vaccinations for 5 to 11-year-olds begin the same day on Saipan. The Rota and Tinian health centers will start administering the vaccine for kids on Monday.
I'm very excited because now we get the opportunity, and we're very fortunate and blessed to have the possibility of having our children from age 5 to 11 get vaccinated. That will cover a whole new spectrum of age, and that's what we want. We want to give this opportunity for our children, and so I look forward in mandating, hopefully, work with PSS, CHCC, the task force, and see what we can do to mandate and hopefully get all of our children get vaccinated.
And that also includes his children.
I have 4 more that needs to be vaccinated between age of 5 and 11.
But he says they still have to meet with education leaders to finalize the new protocol in lockstep with CDC guidelines if more positive cases are identified on campus.
It's fluid. we say one thing and then next time it may change. Doesn't mean that we're going back on our words.
It comes at a time when Saipan reports 48 active cases, 46 of whom are from the community.
The demographic of all these cases, at least for the children under 18, there's about 23 kids that have been confirmed positive, with the youngest at least 4 months old. The clinical status for these patients, there's about 27 with symptoms. Most of them are mild and 2 with moderate symptoms, but they have, and 4 had received treatment of RegenCov infusions. There has been no hospitalization required in this group so far.
She says the community cases does not appear to be widespread.
We do support the resumption of classes. The Coalition of Private Schools already announced and are been very proactive, ensuring a safe environment for their students by using these preventive measures.
And after days of investigations, she says they may have identified the source of transmission.
We have information that linked these cases to an essential worker that was non-compliant and was actually returned to the quarantine site, but decided to leave the CNMI because he was not allowed to exit during quarantine. Seems all these cases are linked to this particular individual. Essential workers are often reminded that if you're here to do essential work, we ask that you also show your love for this community and follow the guidelines issued to you.
They expect to make changes to the travel entry protocol in the coming weeks. Tomas Manglotnya for KUAM News.
83% of the CNMI's eligible population are fully vaccinated. The CNMI public school system set a tentative target date of November 15 to fully reopen schools. For those of you who have been waiting for public health to approve a request for an exemption from getting a COVID vaccination, you'll have to wait a while longer, especially if your exemption is based on religion. Public health spokesperson Janella Carrera.
Those are still on pause, and actually with that, what we want is for, at least for the line agencies, those would be routed, and we still need clarification from the Attorney General's office, but more than likely they will be routed through the Department of Administration for review and approval.
DPHSS has only approved 4 medical exemptions, denied 9, and 3 are pending. And once again, we invite you to voice your view across our social media pages with our daily question. Today we ask, what are your thoughts on JRM lifting its mask mandate for the fully vaccinated? We will share your responses on the link next week. Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Yeah, it sure is like a movie. Oh, about to make a movie. Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
There will come a time when people talk about how Hyundai makes the best car on the road. Now seems about right. The technologically advanced Hyundai Elantra is the 2021 North American Car of the Year.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. The CNMI Department of Labor receives high praise for their proper implementation of their PUA program. Tomas Manglona has the details.
After a 6-month-long monitoring review, the CNMI Department of Labor received high praise from the U.S. Department of Labor Region 6 office, citing 7 of their best practices.
Wow, we've done it. You know, we've gotten through this 21-month journey with the help of U.S. DOE and, of course, with the partnership with the CNMI people. This PUA program has been the most difficult of my career. The PUA was a new program. And so it was just great to hear that, okay, we follow all the procedures, we've done some things right.
The news comes as she says there are still several thousand PUA claimants that have not yet been adjudicated.
In 2020, we received 39,000 PUA applications and had to vet all of those to vet out all the fraudulent claims, the claims who were not from the CNMI, claims who were not eligible for PUA. And so we're really down to about 4,000 PUA claimants at this point in time that still are waiting to be adjudicated for what we call the PUA 3 claims that came under the CARES Act, which was December 2020 to September 2021. But we have adjudicated about 19,000 PUA claims to date from 2020 to 2021.
The PUA and FPUC program in the CNMI has also been at the center of some frustrations.
There's 2 sides to every story, and I'm going to give you a general side on the CNMI DOE side. When a claimant tells you that they haven't received a penny of PUA benefits, they're not going to tell you why they haven't received it. They may say, oh, I don't know, or I don't understand. And that's my fault, because we can't make a claimant understand that we need complete documentation, we need complete verification. Then that's our fault. But we try to make the claimant see that in order to receive these public assistance benefits, we have to verify every single data that they provide to us. And if they don't provide the data to us, then there's no way we can expedite their claims.
She says they are receiving 1,000 calls per week, down from the over 4,000 calls they received in months before. She says recent data indicate that at least 5,000 workers in the CNMI are still impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, ranging from reduced hours to furloughs. Governor Torres weighed in on some recent criticism from lawmakers.
And rather than going in, finding what's going on and how can they help, they criticize the process. Sure, we have ARPA funds, $481 million. We wish we could just spend it in so many different avenues and start construction immediately. But there's process to that. PUA is no different.
Tomas Manglona for KUAM News.
CNMI Governor Ralph Torres responds to the Democratic Party's announcement that Tina Sablan will be running for governor in 2022.
I want to congratulate her for being chosen by the Democratic Party, and we look forward for a clean campaign from all those that are that will be running, not just in the gubernatorial race, but all across all positions across the campaign.
As we reported, sitting Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios will be running for governor as an independent, with Saipan Mayor David Apateng as his running mate. Sitting Republican Governor Ralph Torres is running for re-election with Senator Vinny Sablan at his side. Despite a local military statement saying there aren't any plans to bring them here, a task force pineapple representative on island says the plan to bring thousands of Afghan commandos and their families to Guam is still in play. Glenn Pangilinan responds to a joint Region Marianas statement saying there are no plans at this time to use Guam as a staging area for the relocation of Afghans.
We had a concept in mind. This has been work since August. Guam was identified as a potential when it was mentioned by the governor. I think what the Pentagon found when they came out here was just an impossible situation to make it happen. But that impossible situation has now become even more impossible, which ended up making it possible because there's no other place to go.
Pangilinan said he met with Governor Lou Leon Guerrero yesterday, and he reported that the governor is all in on the Afghans coming to Guam.
The governor's biggest point was Guam has always figured it out. We've had people come through. We've been successful at doing it. It's part of our history. And she said that as soon as she's informed that this is a reality, she'll take the proper measures to make it happen.
Pangilinan is flying out to Washington, D.C. this weekend and said he anticipates a final decision on the plan to transition commandos and their families through the island before the end of the year. Just before 9 this morning, units from the Guam Fire Department responded to a trash fire on the second floor balcony. Residents were evacuated as a precaution. According to GFD spokesperson Cherika Chargaloff, there were no injuries, but there was smoke damage. DOC detainee Anthony Luis Parteco Camacho appeared before Magistrate Judge Jonathan Kwan today. The court is holding him on a $15,000 cash bail with a no-contact provision to select individuals. His next preliminary hearing will be on November 12th at 4 p.m. It was earlier this week when Camacho broke out of DOC's tent quarantine facility where he was being held after testing positive for COVID-19. He was originally detained for parole violations and is now charged with theft of an automobile, third-degree robbery, removal of a vehicle identification, felony escape, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, and theft. Camacho broke free 12 hours before DOC noticed he had even escaped. An internal affairs investigation is underway. Harvey Canso will have to spend 1 year behind bars for his involvement in the death of a man who was struck in the head with a metal pipe. It was in July 2019 when Canso, along with J.K. Sukyeon, were accused of deadly beating a man identified as Maverick. Sukyeon was convicted of manslaughter as a first-degree felony and sentenced to 8 years in jail. The prosecution initially charged Canso with assault as a misdemeanor and then tried to pursue murder charges. The court, however, ruled the prosecution could not proceed with the murder charges because he already pleaded no contest to assault. Today marks World Tsunami Day, and knowing the signs could save your life. KUAM's Hannah Devonzo has this report.
Although Guam is surrounded by a reef and has the Marianas Trench, a big misconception is thinking a tsunami won't happen here. Jenna Blas, Public Information Officer with Guam Homeland Security Office of Civil Defense, urges people to learn the signs.
I think the most important thing for people to remember are the warning signs of a tsunami, so that way they know what to look out for. The very first one is a very strong earthquake. Here on Guam, we've experienced so many earthquakes, and even ones that are around our region. So it's important to remember that even a distant earthquake can cause a tsunami to happen here on Guam. Another warning sign of a tsunami would be a very loud ocean roar. So if you're by the beach and you haven't heard a loud ocean roar before and it just sounds a little bit odd, that's something you can look out for as well. And also a sudden rise or fall from the ocean levels. So if you're out by the beach and you see the water start to recede a little bit or even rise up very quickly, that could be another warning sign that a tsunami may be coming.
Not all tsunamis come with a preparation time. That's why knowing the signs ahead of time is important.
A locally generated tsunami that can come from an earthquake that happens on Guam or close by. Those are the ones where we only have minutes to react. For a very distant earthquake, this is why it's important to recognize earthquakes that happen around, not only on Guam, but around our region. We're always looking out for different types of earthquakes to see if a tsunami will be generated. Our office responsibility is to make sure that the public is informed if there is a tsunami threat. We work very closely with our partners from the National Weather Service and the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center to get those notifications. That way we're able to alert the community as quickly as possible. But for a local earthquake, a locally generated tsunami, you may only have minutes.
Throughout the island, there are tsunami evacuation route signs directing residents to safer grounds. To find out more about safety precautions, follow Guam Homeland Security on Instagram or GHSOCD on Facebook. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Hannah Devonzo.
Sports is up next with Dave Delgado. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Yaman, reintroducing the Tuman pans with plenty rice. Every day of the week, Tuman Jamaican Grill has a special for you for $20. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays features jerk chicken and ribs. Thursdays, the sweet and tangy Jamango barbecue ribs. Friday, check out what we caught for you in our fried local catch. And finally, our weekend family platter is only $50. That's $9 off. Yaman, Tuman pans. Call to order 647-3000 or 4000. Yaman Jamaican Grill.
Mobile offers a new and convenient way to fuel your vehicle. Pay gas and go. No need to line up inside the store. Press preset. Enter whole dollar amount without decimals. Press loyalty ID and enter your mobile number or insert Smiles card. Insert and remove payment card or tap contactless credit card. Begin fueling. And don't forget to grab your receipt. Pay gas and go. It's that easy.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Jacob Dowdell from 671 Recruiting, here to talk about the 2021 College Showcase Combine and Recruitment Seminar.
We are very fortunate here on Guam that we have established through 671 Recruiting avenue for young folks to get opportunity to go and chase their academic dreams through sports. And we're very blessed this year to have Coach Bob Harmon from Olivet Nazarene University out in Illinois, who's going to make the trek here to Guam. This is his second time here with plans to make it a third in the spring. So Olivet Nazarene, I've developed a relationship with them through several coaches at the university. And Coach Conway, now the athletic director, he came here to visit through 671 a few years back. He's the athletic director out at Olivet Nazarene. And so he's sending Coach Harmon out here. He's going to be here for a week. He's going to visit every school on island. Has a lot of scholarship opportunities for our kids as for sports.
Well, the event is open for athletes 7th through 12th grade. And
yes,
you guys really wanted to focus the fact that, one, they definitely need to have updated physicals and vaccinations.
That's the new normal, right? That's the new normal. As far as vaccinations go, it's just a part of life. That's something we have to do now to keep everybody as safe as possible. Bring your proof of vaccination and everything will be fine. Your physical, we need that. So we'll be in line with all the governing bodies here on the island. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure everyone gets an opportunity.
Athletes will be put through the L drill, shuttle run, broad jump, vertical jump, 40-yard dash, and there will be awards given out to top performers in each of those categories.
The top dog award, right? It's not, and then, it's especially good for Guam. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog, right? And so you look at Trevon Jacobs and Jalen Thatch, who left Guam. Trevon's now starting at his school. And there are a lot of athletes that are bigger than him. He's out at slot receiver and things like that. So, you just got to go and be ready to go. You got to be hungry. And that's what we're looking for here. We're going to start the kids off 5:30, so don't be late. Everything's going to start on time. So showtime's 5 o'clock. We expect you to be able to hit the field at 5:30, ready to go. We'll sign you in, give you a number, height, weight, and all that other stuff. And then 5:30, we'll hit the field with stretches for our younger kids. That's 7th and 8th grade. That was important to us because we wanted to make sure that those kids, it's been 2 years since they had youth football and things like that. So I did not want to leave those young folks out. So that was my main concern, that we had a chance to get them on the field as well. 650, we're on the field with the older guys, and then we'll move into the elite category of our college-ready guys. But everybody come out, be ready to go, be ready to work. The gate will be open at 5 o'clock. Just have your proof of vaccination. You got to have that. And for the young athletes, physical. They need to bring their own water bottle, but we will have lots and lots of water provided.
And in programming news, make sure to keep it locked to the stations of KUAM for all of your NFL action. Monday, November 8th, KUAM TV 11, 4 in the morning, NFL on CBS. The Las Vegas Raiders at New York Giants. Switch the channel over to KUAM TV 8, 11:20 in the morning. NBC Sunday Night Football, Tennessee Titans at Los Angeles Rams.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
You are everything that matters to me, and I promise to do whatever it takes to keep you healthy, to be comfortable, and to be free. I love you. As long as we're together, I'll always make sure that home will always be our best place to breathe.
At the Vocal Box, we understand that everyone is different, which is why our meal plans are designed to fit different lifestyles. Whether you need easy and convenient meals because you're on the front lines, breaking personal records, or just trying to live a healthier lifestyle, we have a meal plan for you. Our meals are made with the most fresh, all-natural ingredients that are always grain, gluten, and refined sugar-free. Spend less time cooking and more time living. Call us at 922-BOCA, visit our website, or stop by our cafe in Hagåtña to start your meal subscription today. The Vocal Box, real nutrition made daily.
The chances of you knowing someone on Guam with diabetes is high. It's been one of the leading causes of death on the island within the last decade. A virtual proclamation signing was held today declaring November 2021 as Diabetes Month. This year's theme is The Big Step Up. DPHSS Director Arthur Sinagostine gave details on the deadly disease.
Most individuals affected with diabetes are individuals with lower economic and less education. And so really this brings to mind our cultural, social, economic factor. And as we work to manage and prevent diabetes, we speak to the lifestyle of those afflicted with diabetes.
Those with diabetes that catch COVID-19 are placed at a higher risk for more severe illness and death. Sinagostine revealed that about 50% of COVID-19 related deaths in 2020 and 2021 had diabetes. President of the Guam Diabetes Association, Scott Dueñas.
As Guam continued to be plagued with the COVID-19, it heightens the importance that we stress the seriousness and consequences of its complications with the diabetes disease.
This year's Diabetes Conference will be held virtually on November 14th from 2 to 4 p.m. The theme is Pandemic Diabetes Care. The governor held a virtual proclamation signing today recognizing this month as Veterans Month and to honor our island veterans. Chairman and first Vice Chair of Guam's Veterans Commission, Jose Sinagostine and Roland Atta.
Today marks a significant event of what leaders in our nation would better appreciate. Your contribution and sacrifices to defend our great nation that many others are not able to do so. As a veteran, you have volunteered to serve our great nation so that we can enjoy the freedom that we enjoy today.
Our veterans carried the burdens of war and conflict and now bear the marks of heroism and honor. They deserve the praise and appreciation of every American and of all those whose lives they touched in every part of the world. Our island's veterans belong to a tradition of duty, courage, and honor, deserving of our respect and gratitude.
We thank our veterans who have sacrificed so much in the name of freedom. A virtual proclamation signing was held today recognizing November 15 as Guam celebrates America Recycles Day. Guam's annual recycling rate has decreased from 30.4% in 2019 to 26.4% in 2020 due to the onset of the global pandemic. Guam EPA Administrator Walter Leon Guerrero.
with many countries banning entry into their posts or accepting recyclable waste.
Chair of the Committee on Environment, Senator Sabina Perez stated, quote, "It's part of our culture. It's part of our heritage as Indigenous people to become stewards of this land, and recycling is just one of those components." And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
There is absolutely nothing wrong with being the only birthday celebrant here on the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, because that means you got the spotlight all to yourself. So, happy birthday on this November 5th to Ethan J. Matabusan, who turns 13 today. 13 candles to blow out, and hopefully a lot of presents, a really, really fun time with family and the ones you're closest to. So, speaking of, your entire family is wishing you a happy 13th birthday, Ethan J. And your friends over at KUAM, over here, and at Cold Stone Creamery, wish you have a fantastic birthday too. Happy 13th to Ethan J. Matabusa.
We're not done yet. It is that time of the week where we announce the winner of a yummy Cold Stone Creamery birthday cake.
Hey, the winner of this week's Cold Stone Creamery ice cream cake is Vicente Ongoko. Papa was born on November the 4th, and we wish you and your family a happy and healthy extended birthday. We'll be in touch with you and let you know how you can pick up your ice cream cake. Congratulations, Papa, and happy extended birthday once again.
That's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good night and stay safe, Guam.
The One Micronesia podcast is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Half a day and welcome.